What's going on, guys? Hamilton here with the Trading Initiative, and I just want to make a quick video wrapping up the first week of this small account challenge. If you're not aware of what Potter Stocks and I are doing, we decided to run a small account challenge starting with $100, which is not a lot of money, specifically for swing trading, and try to run it up, see if we can get it to $1,000 or $2,000 utilizing our specific trading systems. Now, with our portion of this small account challenge, we will be exclusively swing trading using the TTI Trading system, so absolutely imperative to find trades that you can hold overnight. There will be 0 day trades made in this specific account. Potter Stocks, on the other hand, is going to be exclusively day trading, not holding anything overnight. After the first week, I believe he's up. Obviously, we're up. You can see right now $135 in the account, so made $35 last week, or over the course of last week, I should say. But yeah, I just want to go through 2 of the trades that I took, give you my thought process behind them, and hopefully you guys can learn something. Before we get into it though, one, if you like this type of content, please like and subscribe to the channel. It does help me out. And in the description, I will link Potter's YouTube. If you are more so a day trader than a swing trader, you want to follow his journey. He puts out content that is specific to day trading. And obviously we put content out specifically for swing trading. So without further ado, you can see once again 135.02 in the account. I deposited $100 on Tuesday, I believe, because Monday markets were closed for Martin Luther King Day, and I went ahead and the first position I bought was this Bob play. So I want to show you really quick why. If you've been consuming any of our content over the last few weeks, you know that we've been bullish China for like 8 to 10 weeks, depending on the ticker. And let's be honest, China is still outperforming US domestic. And so I knew that if I needed to grab something with 30 to 60 days worth of exposure, China had the strength behind it to hopefully get me off on a winning trade to begin with. And it did, right? We're up 20 or 30% on this BABA play. And so here's the thought process here. I wanted to buy on a red day. So the overall trade idea that we have inside of TTI, a lot of the guys are holding this specific setup, the Marches, some guys are holding the Aprils, and we had already closed a bunch of the January plays that were up, no joke, 500, 600%. Here you go. Here's a picture of it. We've had some big wins in BABA, but we were still long BABA. And so I knew I wanted to get long this specific setup, but I wanted to get long on a down day because I only had $100 in the account and every dollar matters. So if I'm buying in a pullback, those contracts are going to be cheaper, right? So our original trade idea here is we expected it to go ahead and consolidate around the 11350 level. You can see going back, this is somewhat of a point of control. There's just a big argument, right? This is a psychological level, if you will, where buyers and sellers are continually sparring. We do expect it to flip, which it looks like it's starting to flip here. We expected some consolidation before a continued rise up, and I believe our overall price target is somewhere between 150 and 160. As for the small account, I'm going to go ahead and delete those two paintbrush tools things right there. So you can see I wanted to buy on a red day, right? So this is going to be Friday the 13th and then Tuesday the 17th, right? I told you the markets were closed for Martin Luther King Day. So I went ahead and bought on that Tuesday because it was a pullback, right? So I got some cheaper contracts. I got the spread that I wanted. A couple of the guys inside of our group have the exact same spread in their big boy accounts. So I went ahead and tailed them on a down day. Now the very next day we did draw down farther. So I was holding this BABA spread for a loss for about 2 days, actually, because even the Thursday, I had popped up, we were green, and then we were red, and then we were green, and I believe we, at market close, were somewhere near break even. So it wasn't necessarily a perfect, smooth trade. I did hold through red for about a day and a half straight, but then on Friday you see the pop-up, which is what we expect, and then obviously we expect this thing to continue on up. So as you can see right here, we are up 25.3% on these BABA spreads. I opened them for like 80 or 85 cents, something like that. And realistically, I only had $100, right? So there wasn't a whole lot of wiggle room for the BABA play. I had to either hit it and make something happen, or I had to immediately cut if it wasn't going to go in my direction because every dollar matters. And in this instance, when we were drawing down, my risk off level, if you will, was if we were able to break this low on this Thursday, unable to hold this little consolidation fractal that we had started building, I was going to cut that BABA for probably a 30% loss and then have to find something even smaller to get into to swing. Okay, and that's what makes these small account challenges very hard, is you don't have a lot of wiggle room for losses. You pretty much have to hit the first few trades to give yourself a buffer, because the overall idea here is I don't want to be using my full account in every trade. As a matter of fact, once I get up to like $200, $300, $400, if I can, I want to continue to look for plays in between the $50 to $75 range and that way it gives me like 5 or 6 attempts at hitting my 4-to-1 setups, right? So just to throw this out there, my goal is only to be trading near 4-to-1 setups. This will give me a 20% win break-even rate, meaning that if I win more than 20% of my trades, statistically I should be profitable. With this small account, every dollar matters, and so I'm trying to find the 4-to-1 setups. They're harder to find because they offer greater returns, right? But this Baba play fit that description, and that's why I grabbed it. I also grabbed an overnighter IWM play. It was kind of a off-the-cuff play. I don't normally do stuff like this with the big account, but because it's a small account and every dollar matters, I'm trying to build up the amount of purchasing power I have outside of the Baba play. So what I did on Thursday, IWM drew down. So the thesis here, I'm not going to go too much into it because there's just too much to explain for this video in particular, but we are more bullish on IWM than either SPY or the Qs right now inside of TTI, specifically because small caps have been showing relative strength, whereas growth and value, large caps, not so much. The market is leading right now through small caps. We're starting to threaten a primary trend upbreak. And so we're long small caps. A number of us are long small and mid caps actually inside of our big boy accounts. And so on Thursday we drew down, and I'm looking at this $200 or this 200 moving average rather, and a previous little POC, a point of control, where I just know buyers and sellers are going to argue. And I said, listen, I had a couple bucks in the account. IWM was coming down and testing this 200-day moving average. We are still inherently bullish inside of TTI. We have been bullish for like the last 4 to 6 weeks. We have not shorted basically anything. I think we shorted like one energy play. It didn't work, which is fine. We are bullish. The majority of our accounts are long right now. And so I went ahead and I bought a 185 call IWM to hold overnight into the Friday session. Now, I do want to point out, I'm not a day trader, so I was not able to perfectly time the bottom. I did hold IWM for a loss intraday. Remember, my rule set, and I will stick to this whether I blow the account or not, is to not close a trade on the same day that I open it. I will not do it. If it's a catastrophe and I buy it at open or something and it just dumps, I will take the loss because I want to stay true to the system, and I want you guys to be able to see the good part, the bad part of swing trading. And I don't want to make, exceptions, because at the end of the day, if I start making exceptions on the rules, the validity of this small account challenge kind of goes down the drain, right? So I went ahead and tried to buy IWM near the 200-day moving average. I did not bottom tick this whatsoever, but I did happen to get the pushback up intraday, and so this was green. Now, because it was basically a 1 DTE, 1 day expiration, because it expired yesterday, this candle right here, I opened up, and IWM opened up, had gapped up about 0.5, 0.6%. The contract itself, due to theta and IV, was down, right? So I bought the 185 call about 45 minutes to an hour into the session. I went ahead and sold it for a minor profit. Obviously, was that the right decision? I don't day trade. Okay, IWM popped up to 185, so I probably could have squeezed that contract for a lot more, to be honest with you. But I just wanted to pad the account. The trade idea was just to catch a 200-day moving average bounce, and I caught it. So I made a couple bucks there off of the IWM play. Nothing to write home about, but once again, reoccurring theme here, every single dollar matters. So it doesn't matter if I profited off of this swing trade $5, $15, $50. I will take the $5, and I will pat myself on the back for executing a trade utilizing the TTI trading system and a little bit of creativity and innovation, if you will, by grabbing that off the 200-day moving average and expecting the bounce, which happened, right? So pat on the back for a well-executed trade, even if it wasn't $1 million trade. So this is what we're looking at here, right? I'm coming into next week with just the Baba play. I have a little bit more buying power here, so I'm going to be able to do some new things next week. I don't know if I'm going to close the Baba play. I really like this setup. This is a max profit of, I think, $400 on this specific spread. There's no reason in my mind to try to close this early. This might be the first big trade I take in the account. I let it run for a month. I don't know how Baba's going to perform, but I definitely don't want to close out just at the 20-25% if there's an opportunity for this thing to hit triple digits off of the first trade I take, which to me it seems like it could. Next week, since I have about $30 in buying power, I'll kind of, I'll be capped at what I try to do. I don't know if I'm going to try to make another IWM style play or not, but I will be hunting for those 4-to-1 setups, right? So that's the name of the game, 4-to-1. Try to get over a 20% win rate. Right now I'm at 100%, so there we go. I'm the best trader ever. 100% win rate, 2 out of 2, assuming we don't gap down and blow up in Baba on Monday. But that's it, guys. This is how it works. I have very low expectations for this. I have no idea if it's going to pan out or not, but taking it low and slow, and just slowly trying to build this account up and show you guys what it's like to trade the TTI trading style, right? So if you have a bigger account, we take conservative plays like this. You can throw some cash behind it. I could sit here and market that I added 30% on my account in 1 week. You should come and join. But realistically, you can see it was just one trade. It's the BABA trade. And there's guys inside the group, like I said, that are in this BABA trade. They're up multiple hundreds of percent right now. So we'll see how this goes. If you have any questions, feel free, put them down below. I will try to help out as best I can. Once again, this is just a fun experiment. Check out Potter if you're day trading. Check out us if you're swing trading. And now here comes the pitch. Listen, guys, if you work a full-time job and you think that it's hard, you can't find time to trade, we know how it feels. As a matter of fact, the TTI swing trading system is specifically built around this concept of being able to come into the market, execute your trades for 5 to 10 minutes at the beginning of the day or the end of the day, and then go back and live your life. Spend time with your family. Go to work and actually enjoy it. Don't stress about your positions all day. Have hobbies outside of trading, right? That's kind of the goal. So if you're willing to work a little bit to learn our trading system, and you want to communicate with a great group of guys, lots of young professionals with good jobs, we talk all day about trading and stuff like that when they have the time. Feel free to check us out. Links are in the description. I'll catch you in the next video.